The savage scavenger of the skies, the vulture. People frequently view the intimidating vulture as an annoyance or a sign of impending death, but the birds are actually an essential component of the ecology. These scavenger birds remove dead animal materials from the environment that can contain hazardous bacteria and diseases by opportunistically feeding on whatever is left over from other animals' kills. But many species are seeing a sharp reduction due to human activity, which could promote the spread of illnesses. Welcome to the channel, subscribe and let's dive in. The vulture has been important to human culture throughout history. In the past, they were frequently seen on the front lines of conflict, preying on dead combatants or civilians. The bird is said to have a kind of supernatural ability to sense dead or dying prey in some African folklore. To avoid predators, some vultures will vomit up their prey. They don't exactly explain why they do this. The bird may use the vomit to reduce its weight before taking off. Another theory is that it momentarily diverts the predator, enabling the bird to flee quickly. Vultures oscillate between times of relative abundance, gorging on as much food as they can, and extended stretches of rest and slumber as they consume. Contrary to common belief, the term vulture does not refer to a specific group's classification in science. Instead, it is the colloquial term for a variety of birds that consume carrion and have comparable traits. Taxonomists currently divide vultures into more than 20 species. Old World and New World vultures are the two main divisions. Although having many things in common, these two groups are actually not all that closely linked. The family Accipitridae, which also contains eagles, hawks, kites, and harriers, includes Old World vultures. The family Cathartidae, which is a component of an entirely different order, includes New World vultures. The vulture is an illustration of convergent evolution, in which two groups that independently evolved comparable traits and behaviors yet are widely distinct taxonomically. In other words, even though they originated from quite different evolutionary lineages, they developed to fill a comparable niche. The turkey vulture, the California condor, and the Andean condor are all New World vultures. The griffon vulture, Egyptian vulture, European black vulture, bearded vulture, and Indian vulture are some of the Old World vultures. The word vulture does not apply to the scientific classification of any one particular group. Instead, it is the common name for a number of birds that eat carrion and have similar characteristics. There are currently more than 20 species of vultures according to taxonomists. The two main distinctions are between vultures from the Old and New Worlds. Although sharing a lot of similarities, these two groups are not really all that connected. Old World vultures are members of the family Accipitridae, which also includes eagles, hawks, kites, and harriers. New World vultures are members of the family Cathartidae, which is a suborder of a completely different order. The astonishing evolutionary adaptations made by the vulture over millions of years to fit a scavenger existence are evident in many aspects of its appearance, physiology, and behavior. The vulture's bald head is one of its most recognizable characteristics. This bald patch was formerly thought to have developed to prevent the feathers from becoming damp with blood when eating a carcass, but another argument is that it may also help with body temperature control. To rip flesh and muscle from the bone, the large, pointed beak also evolved. The bird's feet and talons are more well suited to walking than to slaying prey. The vulture is an ominous-looking bird that has a dull appearance. Black, white, gray, and brown feathers cover it, while other species have more vivid red or orange coloring. Due to the uric acid present in the bird's feces, the legs frequently turn white. Uric acid is thought to help regulate foot temperature and fight germs. Most species are imposing like raptors and huge, although they come in a variety of sizes. Black or cinereous vultures are the largest species of vulture in the Old World. It weighs almost 30 pounds, is almost 3 feet long, and has wingspan that is roughly 9 feet. The condor, which has wingspan over 10 feet, is the largest New World vulture bird. The enormous albatross, in contrast, has a wingspan that is nearly 11 feet long. The special feather modifications of these birds have allowed them to master the art of soaring miles above the ground in search of dead or dying animals. Sometimes when it's cold, the bird would stretch its wings out in the sun to get warm. Because of their different evolutionary ancestries, New World and Old World vultures differ greatly in a number of important ways. Their nesting habits are one of the most crucial variations. Vultures from the Old World prefer to build their nests out of sticks. On the other hand, New World vultures rarely construct any form of nest and frequently lay their eggs on bare ground. Sometimes, vast bird colonies will live in these nesting locations. A committee or venue is a collection of vultures. The two groups also differ significantly in terms of their senses. Certain vultures from the New World have a high sense of smell that enables them to locate carcasses from great distances. Among many bird species, this characteristic is unusual. Like other birds, Old World vultures typically rely more on their vision to find prey. Moreover, New World vultures lack the syrinx, a part of the throat that gives many birds their voice. They can still hiss and grunt, but they are unable to produce the sophisticated cries and sounds for which birds are renowned. This also hinders their ability to converse with one another. The majority of vulture species live primarily within a small geographic range, while northern-based species like the common turkey vulture migrate throughout the winter. The turkey vulture spends the majority of the summer in the northern United States before migrating south as the temperature drops. These variation brings on the different types of vultures. Here are a few. White-backed vulture. The white-backed vulture, also known as an Old World vulture, gets its name from the fact that it cannot be found in the New World, or the Western Hemisphere that was discovered and settled by Europeans. Native to Africa, this huge bird breeds in the savanna and normally only lays one egg per year. The white-backed loves carrion, like the majority of vultures. The white-backed vulture's back is covered in white feathers, living up to its name. Indian vulture. This Old World vulture, which is native to Nepal, India, and Pakistan, has also seen a sharp drop in population due to accidental poisoning. They are classified as severely endangered by the IUCN, and captive breeding efforts have been established to halt the species' decline. Due to the fact that vultures feed on dead animals, as their population decreases, feral dog and rat populations rise and disease risks go up. They have a significant stabilizing effect on the neighborhood ecosystem. Ruppell's vulture. This huge bird, which bears the name of the German explorer and naturalist, is primarily found in Africa's Sahel area, which lies between the savanna and the desert. The Ruppell is the highest flying vulture, despite not being the biggest. They can fly up to 37,000 feet above sea level, which is higher than Mount Everest, according to the evidence. The Ruppell's vulture's general hue is a dark brown or black, with a whiter underbelly and some white fluff around the head and neck. Also, they possess a unique protein that enables them to effectively absorb oxygen at high altitudes. According to the IUCN, Ruppell's vultures are highly endangered and have sustained significant mortality as a result of accidentally ingesting poison. The Ruppell has a tongue that faces backward and has spikes on it to aid in the digestion of animal hides and bones. Cinereous vulture. The nesting grounds of this huge raptor, which is of Eurasian origin, are Turkmenistan, Tajikistan, northern Afghanistan, and extreme western China. The Iberian Peninsula contains the westernmost portion of the vulture's original breeding area, with a restored population in southern France. Southern Europe's habitat is not related to the rest of the range in Central Asia. The cinereous is classified as near threatened by the IUCN. The cinereous vulture is predominantly dark in appearance, with dark brown plumage and a pale, featherless head, in contrast to the colorful lappet-faced vulture. Andean condor. The Andean condor is not only the biggest vulture on Earth, but also the biggest bird of prey overall and one of the biggest flying creatures. This massive raptor, a member of the New World vulture family, has smaller, isolated habitat ranges in northern Colombia and extreme western Venezuela. It lives along the spine of the Andes mountain range in South America. These scavengers are part of the food cycle. Beware. Thank you for watching. Follow for more.